Hey everyone, this is going to be a final pass for the line art, and we're going to throw in maybe a base color and also start in the background too. So we're transitioning to the next phase of the work here, so we're almost done with the line art. But I'm just going to clean up maybe some borders or that maybe look a little bit messy, just anything. I'm just going to sort of zoom in a little bit here and just kind of look at anything that might be glaringly obvious, because I think overall the thing looks pretty good, and there's not really much we need to change. Maybe add a finger there. Yeah. I don't really have any particular topic of discussion today. Just gonna sort of go over this and commentate a little bit about this part of the process. Do I want to add any hatching lines here? The fact that the hat is under shadow, maybe a little bit here too. Yeah, just a little bit there. Kind of want to add a little bit of indication of shadow in the line art here. There's two reasons for line weight. You know, you can use line weight to express a little bit of shading, changes in form, corners, things like that. So I don't want to spend too much time in the cleanup here. I'm just kind of glossing over the whole thing and see anything that might be obvious or annoying. Actually, I didn't really need to change that. I just want to clean up that line a little bit. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, the tail is a little messy, so we'll go ahead and maybe fix the border of that tail. This one right here, let's join these up. Does not have to be crazy perfect here. I know I did mention shooting for perfection, but that also means time efficiency, efficacy of the image. You don't have to be too crazy about these lines because they get the point across. Unless, of course, you have that personal standard and you're getting paid enough, you know, then you have reasons to achieve a higher level of perfectionism, which for me, I believe is not necessary in this moment. Yeah, I think the sandals look fine. Feet, I think the feet look fine as well. Don't really need to express the toes here too much. Just keep it simple. We're gonna try to keep the color simple too. I think this looks good. I don't know if I'm gonna do line weight over the whole of her body to make her pop out from the background. I think that might not be necessary. It's something that I did train the kids to do when I was teaching art, you know, just to get a little bit of boldness around the entirety of the line art, just to help the character pop out a little bit more. But for this, I don't think it's necessary. Maybe a little bit of occlusion right here between this overlap shadow right here. Maybe a little bit down here under the shirt. I'm gonna clean that up. Those little feathery edges right there. I am using the double tap feature on the Apple Pencil to switch from pencil to eraser. I know that the new Apple Pencil Pro added the squeeze feature, but it's available in Notes, but if I squeeze right now in Procreate, it doesn't have a use yet, so I have to figure out like how to, or what I could do with this squeeze in Procreate. You know, the double tap is nice and squeeze is also nice, so I could even do squeeze to eraser instead of double tap, you know, that might be cool. Okay, I think this is fine. I'm gonna go ahead and lay in a base color now. Put these in the same layer. We'll call this Lumia is the character's name, I think. I'll call this one line. Call this one color. So I'm just going to do a color fill. I'm just going to do maybe a light skin color-ish right here. Move into the red a little bit. Just something kind of like that. We're going to go color fill here, and then we're going to start filling in the colors here. So I'm not going to be too crazy right now about being super accurate. I'm just going to sort of go over all of it. Let's close that one already. Let's go over the wings. And I'll clean it up with the color brush as we go. So I'm just going over the, whoops, that was a mistake. As you can see, going a little bit messy here. I believe Clip Studio Paint has the fastest tools for this type of thing. I think Procreate is even less efficient than Krita. Because I have to tap and confirm. Oh yeah, but the cool thing about Procreate is that I can tap like this. I can draw or just tap. So I can move the entire canvas while I'm still doing the fill. So that part of Procreate is better than Krita. The fact that I can just keep going here and I can do the whole thing and use the tap feature. Okay. Is that all of it? So we're going to use Opus Color Brush now. And just, is that hair over here? No. And then I'm going to also make the eraser Opus Color. We're going to make this brush a little bit smaller. So this is just cleanup now. And then we're going to turn the alpha lock on, and we're going to do it all in one layer. Don't want to spend too much time on this piece. I do record how much time, I take a log of how much time I'm spending on each of these drawing sessions. I've spent about maybe 2.5, almost 3 hours on this piece so far. And let's see, considering how much I'm getting paid, I want to finish this one in maybe, let's shoot for 4 hours. So total, it probably might end up being more than that since there's a background here. But I'm gonna see if I can sort of speed paint the background. It's very interesting that, you know, a lot of this piece has been inspired from AI generated images. I do think my drawing might be better than the AI generated ones, since the style of the AI generated ones looks like pretty generic, and that typically tends to happen with AI generated pieces. Like, the art that AI creates is of a pretty high quality. It's like, you know, it gets the anatomy pretty well. The art style is like pretty good, but it's like it's sort of generic in the sense that it's pulling together the database of like a lot of different top anime artists and kind of meshes them all into one style. Let's get in there and clean that up. So a lot of the style of the art, and especially with, you know, anime art in general, they kind of all gravitate toward the same aesthetic. Now looking at my piece is like, isn't it just an anime girl? Yes. So, you know, but the thing that makes this one, I mean, I deliberately chose to use my line art style for this rather than like a different line art style that I could have gone for, which is a little bit more precise, a little bit less inky. The eraser brush size is too big. Because I did still want this to look like distinctly mine, and I have a line art style that I enjoy the most, so I went for it. it's the limiting factors we put on ourselves sometimes that kind of make us who we are, not the embellishments and accentuations and development. Sometimes it's the limits. For me, I like to limit myself to line art brushes that feel like ink pens. Because what I could have done is done this entire piece with the same flow brush. And like if I go back here and look, like there's something very nice and appealing about the soft edges here of the flow brush. And I could have gone with that style. I think it would have looked good. But I told myself, okay, let's do my my line art style, you know? So if we look at the differences here, the flow brush might have even looked better, you know? It might have. And maybe next time I do an anime character, maybe I'll go with that one. But I went with my hard, you know, ink style. It's just, it feels more genuine to me, I guess. But I don't know. We'll keep exploring. I don't want to pigeonhole myself into anything yet. Just cleaning up here. The eraser brush is too big. Okay. Yeah, I feel like in Krita I would have done this color fill a lot faster. But we're almost done. I think what actually might be more time efficient is if I take my time. Because I think in Krita I was using the color fill tool, and you can easily toggle from eraser to color fill using the same tool in Krita. So I could like easily erase and clean up these edges here. In fact, I might just keep using this tool to do the fills, the tap feature on it. Yeah, I think if I just did the entire thing with this, it would have been faster. And then I can go back later and, you know, maybe erase off some of the edges. Some of the parts are going to be more easily brushed in. Yeah, I think next time we do a color fill like that, I'll try to take a note of this. Next time we do a color fill, we take it slow and just use the tap feature to fill in the whole thing. Now here, let's do remove. Huh. Let's see. Can I color fill with an eraser? I don't know. Yeah, that's weird. Oh, I mean, then I can just remove color fill. I can actually just do this way. I can do this. And then just delete. Delete. That's weird. Oh. There's got to be a faster way to do this. Okay, I could have just used a big brush too. But whatever. Okay. See, in Krita, it would have been just press E to toggle the fill tool to eraser, and then just one stroke, and it would have been done. So I gotta improve my efficiency here in Procreate. So I think that's what I'll take a note of. Efficiency when doing the color fills. So this is the color we'll use for now. I might change it a little bit toward a more pink color. Desaturate a little bit, change up the brightness a little bit. Something closer to the skin, what I'm going to use for skin. We are thinking about a sunset on a beach in Japan. So let's go ahead and move this down here. Oops. And we'll call this BG. And let's start thinking about composition. So in Draw 1, I did have a basic layout for composition. I guess it was pretty symmetrical. I didn't really use rule of thirds here. But here not BG. I'm going to start, I'm going to use the same color brush, Opus Color. I'm going to try to do everything with that brush and make it best possible brush I can. Okay, sunset. Let's take a look at the references. They weren't really sunsets in the references, so what does a sunset gradient look like? I could look it up right now. In fact, we should probably airbrush this, actually. And the basic airbrush has always been fine for me, the basic soft brush here. And this is really cool about the iPad 4, M4 iPad. If you have a large airbrush, it will lag and it will kind of be like, you can see the frame rate on it. But, you know, even for the previous iPads, even this part would lag, but now it's like so smooth. So let's go ahead and throw in a sunset gradient, maybe a purplish, get some blue in there. Some greenish. I know it kind of goes towards the rainbow here. I can start getting lighter. Airbrush it in. Airbrush, airbrush, airbrush. Might be a bit dark. Let's lighten it up a little bit. We'll keep the saturation lower than the let me get this green tone here, and then we'll start getting to the sunset, which is like yellow. I'm gonna airdrop right there, and then we'll go to yellowish orange once we get near the bottom here. I'm gonna actually change this to a multiply layer for now, so I can still see the background that I drew. Let's push the gradient up a little bit. I'm gonna push the whole gradient up. And then we're gonna put orange at the bottom. Saturated orange. And then where are we gonna have water? Let's actually just use maybe a dark purplish gray to get some buildings in there. So we'll go back to Opus Color. And then we're gonna start making some silhouettes of buildings. Maybe a shrine over here. Some pagoda looking buildings here near the end. And then here are some hotels and stuff. We're gonna keep it pretty rough right now. I did go to Hawaii this year, around the time of my son's first birthday. And there's a lot of Japanese population in Hawaii, and I did go to the beach in Hawaii. Obviously, gotta go to the beach. And I did look up some pictures just now of like beaches in Japan, and beaches are kind of similar all throughout the world. The colors and shapes of terrain is pretty much all really similar. So with that in mind, I'm gonna make sure to have like some greenery over here. So this is gonna be like greenery, and then maybe the hills of the beach going up as you go towards the shore here. Maybe a path, some hills. Just gonna keep it very general right now. Maybe a tree here and there. Tree right here. Maybe a tree over here. Let's get a tall building up there. Kind of cut off our composition a little bit. Let the eye stop there. Let's get a tall one. More tall ones over here. And then it kind of stops as we go that way. How can we cut off the composition here? Maybe we'll get like the sun, a white white sun coming from this side with our airbrush. something like that. So the gradient part actually might need to put in a different layer. The sky in a different layer. Yeah, I think we'll need to do that. And then so there's I guess we'll call the rest of it midground. Yeah. I might have to do another pass for the background. Yeah, I think we'll do that. We'll do 2 passes. We'll call it BG1.